Welcome back to the North Star Takes podcast. I'm Bailey. He's Jacob. We're a Minnesota sports podcast. If you're a Minnesota sports fan, please click the like button on this video and feel free to subscribe to our channel. And if you're a Vikings fan, click the like button on this video because the Vikings are 4-1. But this week they have, their final game before the bye week. They're going to Miami. They don't have to face Tua. They don't have to face Teddy. Instead, they're facing third stringer Skylar Thompson from Kansas State, 7th round pick. And of course, it's normal for every Vikings fan to kind of freak out and be like, how many times are we going to struggle against a backup quarterback? We saw it last year with Cooper Rush, albeit Cooper Rush is beating everybody right now. We've seen it before with Chase Daniel and the Bears. There's several other examples of the Vikings just not showing up or playing well against a backup quarterback, albeit that was all with the Zimmer regime. Things could be different this time around. But are you a little bit worried about the Vikings having a letdown against the Dolphins without their starting quarterback, but they're still going to have their weapons in Tyreek and Jalen Waddle playing?
Yeah, I'm a little cautious here because, like you said, we have the bad history, and that's not anything to do with this current regime. So, like, I shouldn't have that in my mind, but it's just kind of there. Can't avoid it. I don't know. As a fan, it's easy to feel a little cynical about it, I guess,
Right.
as far as like this team's ability to just go out there and do their job and win against a backup quarterback like they should, or in this case, a third string quarterback. I know in London we kind of did that against Andy Dalton because like technically James started there, but I don't think there's that much of a difference between those two. So
and we really didn't play that well against Dalton either.
Yeah, exactly. So like this is truly a guy I'd never heard of, and I'd go look him up when I saw he came into the game for the Dolphins last week. So like looked him up, former Kansas State product. So obviously not like some banner school for college football, I think. So I don't really know how much is there, but like you said, with Hill and Waddle playing, I worry about that just because I think any NFL QB can get the ball to guys like them who are going to create as much separation as they will against our secondary that is kind of suspect, and especially in a scheme where Donatel really likes to play the shell coverage where we give a lot of space, just don't want to give up the big play, but it's like these guys are going to catch balls underneath and just get all that yak. So it's
Right.
like that kind of worries me. And then I think on another side of things, it's just from a broader view, grander scope, I think as the team in general probably could be looking into the bye already. I think this is the last game we're going to play before we get a week off, especially with all the travel they've had lately. I know they went to London, and then now we're traveling down to Miami. And truth be told, I think sometimes bad things happen. I think on a Saturday night in Miami. So
Right.
I'd be a little bit worried about that too. And I guess I don't know kind of how strict KOC probably will be about these road trips or not. But I think that's as funny as it is, I think that's something to consider. So I would say, yeah, this has all the makings of a trap game. I think it's just another one of those deals where you just gotta go out and take care of business, just like you did the last 3 weeks against the Lions and Bears at home, and then going to London to play the Saints. I think this is kind of more of the same. I think this was looking like a really tough game a couple weeks ago when the Dolphins started 3-0, and they had Tua healthy, but now that he's out of the picture, and even Teddy is too, like it kind of changes your perspective. But still, it's a little bit of a worrisome game for me nonetheless, but I guess I kind of have a worrisome feeling about a lot of games. I think it has to be a really bad team we're going to play if I'm going to feel great about it. So I think maybe it's just natural Minnesota fan in me that's like kind of worried about it. I don't know. What are you thinking, Bailey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little concerned too, but at the same time, I'd like to think, this is a healthy team, first of all. I mean, the only true injury we have is our rookie safety, Lewis Seen, is out for the year. Everyone else is basically playing and healthy. So I don't know. You'd like to think they just go down there, like you said, do their job. Ed Donatel and Kevin O'Connell have a good scheme on both sides of the ball. I mean, offensively, I'm not too worried about our team. I think the offense will be fine. Miami's defense hasn't been great this season. They have, a plethora of injuries on that side of the ball. Dalvin Cook is going to be motivated. He's back in his hometown of Miami. He's going to want to play well. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, if they have banged up secondary players, like, are they really going to be able to cover him? Factor in, KJ Osborne played at the U, so he's back in Miami as well. So there's a couple different angles there to work with, and our offensive line has just been phenomenal. I can't stress this enough how great Christian Darrisaw has been, how great Brian O'Neill has been. Bradbury's improved tremendously. Is it sustainable? I don't really know. Ed Ingram's doing well for a rookie right guard, and Ezra Cleveland is just a solid, steady left guard. So the offensive line's playing well. It's just defensively, I'm worried. How in the heck are we going to cover Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? I mean, Patrick Peterson's going to have to cover one of them. Like, that scares me. Cam Dancer's not a burner by any means. He's going to have to cover the other one. So that's scary because, I mean, yeah, this guy's a third stringer. He's a seventh-round pick. He's a rookie, but he's on an NFL roster, and you'd think if these guys are wide open, he's going to find a way to hit them. So, I mean, this could very well be a shootout. I think the Vikings are favored by 3.5, somewhere in that range. I mean, I could certainly see it being that close of a game just because every freaking game the Vikings play is close. That Bears game last week had no business being close. The Saints game really had no business being close either, and we just let them right back into it. So you'd like to think at some point here they can stop with the messing around and just put teams away. But, I mean, that might not come till after the bye where they kind of dig deep and look into some of their issues. So this is certainly a concerning game because it's in Miami. The Vikings historically just don't play well in Miami. Warmer weather. Like you said, it's right before a bye week. Saturday nights in Miami. Who knows what's going to happen? So there's all sorts of concerning things going on here. But at the end of the day, no matter how they do it, if they can buckle down and win this game, they're going to be 5-1 going into their bye week, which, I mean,
that's impressive.
Sign me
that
up
would
for
be
that.
Impressive. Yeah.
Because you and I, before the season, we were talking about this stretch, maybe, 4-2, but probably 3-3 going into the bye. And okay, even at 4-2, we'll take it. But given the situation this week, it'd be really nice to get to 5-1, have that bye week, kind of diagnose the issues that have plagued you so far this season. The little nicked up injuries we have right now, get those taken care of, and then be fully healthy coming out of the bye week, getting ready for that Arizona Cardinals team, which I think is a very overrated team that the coach and quarterback are not on the same page. So we have some very winnable games, on the horizon here, minus that Bills game probably in mid-November. So, I guess it's a little concerning of a game, but at the same time, it's a veteran team. I like to think they just go down there and take care of business.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's all about getting the right mindset. I don't think we'll overlook the Dolphins, which I think would be a worry of mine when the team's playing a third string quarterback, but I have no concerns there just because I think the Dolphins have proven that they have a good team, good roster. So, like, they can compete and win a lot of games when everybody's healthy. I know two is out of the picture, but everybody else is there. So it's like, especially, you always start with them now. It's the two burners with Hill and Waddle, as mentioned. So, if we can kind of neutralize that at least a little bit, obviously not going to stop them, but if you contain them to a degree, I think we'll be fine. I think the offense will do enough, and just hopefully even going into the bye, it'd be great if we got a game where it was just like a steady flow of offense all the way throughout, because it feels like our offense has been kind of all or nothing this year, where we've been garbage on third downs, but then we actually, like, on the drives there's some drives where we come out and we just look like we're a top 5 unit, like we all hoped we would be. Like that opening drive against New Orleans comes to mind, and the first 3 drives against Chicago. So, like, I'd love to see a complete performance there. I think that makes it feel really good going into a bye week. But I would say, too, adding on to that, specifically on offense, I think our run game and Dalvin Cook, I think he could be due for a big game. I think this will be a really emotional one for him just because this is the first NFL game he's played in the Miami area where he's from. And I think that was just last year when his dad died, right?
Yeah, I think it was
maybe
last year.
Maybe it was
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was within the last, a couple of years for sure. But I think that's a big deal for him, especially this year when he switched to the number 4. I think that meant a lot to him and his family and his upbringing. Yeah. So I think this could be a huge game for Dalvin, actually, and especially Dolphins defense that got gashed by the Jets to the tune of 40 points and 5 rushing touchdowns. I kind of like our chances there. So that'd be great to have one of those games where we established the run. So I think that's very possible, and hoping to see that.
Yeah, I'd hope to see that too, because this could definitely be a game where Kirk Cousins kind of struggles to acclimate a little bit on the road. Miami's just kind of a weird place to play. We've seen the Patriots struggle there, basically every year. So, if Kirk comes out a little slow, hopefully Dalvin can kind of help kick the offense in the rear and get us going. So that is a good point. I'd like to see a nice big Dalvin Cook game before the bye here, just because he's had some good games lately here, but it'd be nice to see him get over the 100-yard mark. kind of look like the Dalvin Cook of old that we're used to seeing. But at the
Yes.
same time, like it's obviously fun to get Jefferson involved and get him a bunch of touches. So, any other final thoughts from you before we take off here on this game?
Yeah, I feel like we're just trending towards another one of those nail biting finishes like we've had the last 3 weeks. So I guess why not buckle up for more?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's fair to come to expect that with this team now. So,
Especially when we're 3 point favorites.
yeah, yep. And you'd like to think when it comes to the games where we play really good teams like the Bills or maybe the Packers on the road, heck, even that Cowboys game might be tough. You'd like to think, all right, maybe we can keep it close with those teams too, rather than getting embarrassed, kind of like we did in that Eagles game. So
Yeah.
I feel like we've come a long way since that Eagles game, maybe not defensively, but offensively. So, um, you know, just leave no doubt. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day. It'd be nice to just comfortably win, but at the same time, if we get another game-winning Kirk Cousins drive, like I feel like the more he does this, the more you can almost rely on it. So,
That's a good point.
um, that certainly doesn't hurt either. But just take care of business, get to 5-1 going into the bye, and then we'll be feeling really good about this team coming out of the bye, playing a Cardinals team and a Commanders team that just aren't playing great football. So, that will do it for this edition of the North Star Takes podcast. Like I mentioned earlier, please click the like button on this video and feel free to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. You can give us a follow on both Twitter and Instagram and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you worried about having to face Miami's third string quarterback? Do you think the Vikings can finally just take care of business comfortably this week? And any other thoughts you might have on the game, the Vikings going into the bye, anything like that. So until next time, thanks for watching.